Right, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So today we've got some reports on Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Actually pertaining to Palpatine and the Snoke and all of this stuff. And also some bits of information about how Leia and Luke knew who Rey's parents were, or lineage was. Before we get into that though, I do want to just remind you of a video that I worked really hard on. Not too many people were notified of it, and it's probably not turned up in your subscription feed, so I'll leave it linked above. It is a retrospective look back over one of my all-time favourite films, Dark City, which was released in 1998. I won't say too much about it, but if you didn't see the video, please do go check it out. I get asked all the time what my favourite films are. That's one of them. It's a fantastic noir sci-fi film, neo-noir. You'll really like it. So check out that video. But let's get into it, right? So all of this comes to us from makingstarwars.net. I will leave linked down below in the description box two of the articles, or both of the articles. So the first things first, we're going to look at the fact that Snoke, the identity of Snoke and how that mystery has all kind of come around is revealed, basically. I will say this, it sounds like they didn't really think it through too much. But make of it what you will. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So the article states that some time ago, makingstarwars.net reported that information was correct at the time of being reported about the original opening of that film. Now, the sequence has now been moved to Arcto, to sequence with Luke Skywalker, and it is in that sequence that we see flashbacks of a young Luke and Leia on Endor, which I'm assuming is obviously the end of the original trilogy. However, now, apparently, that's gone. Film now opens with Kylo Ren landing on Exegol, or Exegol. Now, this is all important. I'm not just rambling nonsense, because apparently, as Kylo Ren lands there, on this place, that's where we start to basically learn about Snoke's origin. And again, remember, I definitely think they just kind of made this up as they went along. I can't see that this was the plan. So he lands on Exegol and he walks across the stormy plain of the dead world. He passes a giant floating cube about 30 feet in the air. And it states apparently this place is weird. The evil son of Solo then takes a lift down. So obviously down into the planet somewhere. But this is where things go from weird to insane. And makingstarwars.net state, I mean really insane. As Kylo explores the area, he encounters these small creatures that are tending to the capsules or barrels called the relics. So remember that name, right? Inside these barrels, Kylo sees the body of former Supreme Leader Snoke. However, he was killed and disposed of. So these are all clones. Now, makingstarwars.net, they've been told that the explicit implication is that Snoke has always been a clone, and that there are too many barrels full of Snoke clones to count. I think it's safe to say that Kylo Ren has a bad feeling about this. Now, I don't really understand that part. We'll pause for a second, just to kind of get to grips with that, right? The implication is that, obviously, Emperor Palpatine has been making clones, but why would you clone something so frail? Because Supreme Leader Snoke wasn't exactly the most sprightly of gentlemen, was he? So just food for thought as we continue. And it continues that Kylo then comes upon an old man in a bed. The old man claims to be Darth Sidious. Kylo doesn't believe him and ignites his sabers and puts it to his throat. And the old man laughs at him. The old man looks up and reveals the Sith fleet that waits for him above the planet. What? You'd think Kylo Ren would have seen these when he... What? What? You'd think Kylo Ren would have seen the Sith fleet anyway. How is this a big reveal, right? They're on the planet anyway? So Kylo Ren is obviously then convinced and listens to the Sith Lord, and Darth Sidious orders Kylo Ren to kill Rey. This is his first and only mission. Kylo asks what is so special about Rey, and Palpatine says he will find out all too soon. Later in the film, when Kylo does find Rey, Kylo tells Rey that Darth Sidious ordered him to kill her, but he's not going to do it, and this is proof that there's still good in him. So there you have it. Apparently Snoke was a clone. It implies a lot of things. MakingStarWars.net say that they don't claim to know what it means specifically, but I know this changes how we're going to experience the post-Return of the Jedi era in books, comics, and video games in future. Snoke was a puppet of Palpatine, a proxy. The thing is, why would you make something so frail? You know? Why would you continue? Is it because Snoke specifically was, I don't know, like force sensitive to some degree? But why would you do that? And again, some of the comments that Snoke has made, you know, before this in ancient times, and you know, before that I've seen the rise and fall of this, and blah blah blah. It's like, well, what's the point? It's very, very odd. There's a lot of leaps there to make. And unfortunately, we do know that J.J. Abrams probably won't explain any of it. Like, it just won't be done. But why would you clone something so frail and continue to clone them? You'd think having a strong vessel would be priority as well as everything else. So whatever. It's kind of besides the point, I guess. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this particular piece of news. Now, we are going to move on now to Luke and Leia apparently knew about Rey. Because Rey in this film is supposedly Emperor Palpatine's granddaughter. So, since the sequel trilogy began, we Star Wars fans have all been a bit on edge trying to discover what the big conspiracy is. Is there even a conspiracy about Rey and the Skywalkers? Based on things I know from the Trevorrow script, it does not seem as if it was a connection between these characters the entire time. This kind of make-it-up-as-you-go writing has always been a part of Star Wars, and it has always been something kept a bit secretive during the release phase of the films. This is the thing, like, don't make it up. Don't make it up as you go along. That's an atrocious way to handle the franchise, the property. Now, George Lucas could not admit to making it up as he went along until it was done and dusted. And obviously people liked it. Now, this trilogy clearly had more eyes and contributors on it, but it seems to have developed in much the same way. Now, I would hasten to agree with that. We already know that they are making it up as they go along. They're just changing stuff, adding stuff, literally just putting ideas out there, seeing what sticks. It's such a shame. Now, apparently, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, J.J. Abrams was tasked with answering our questions and making it make sense, which is a tall task when the second film in the trilogy doesn't really line up with the narratives and the structure that's been laid out in the first one. When you try so hard to subvert expectations, you just kind of ruin the overall trilogy plot, which is clearly there. There was clearly, very, very clearly plot lines. But whatever. So it says, while there were always suggestions of Palpatine, it does not appear as if it was in any way solid until Abrams took over Episode 9. I have heard that when Abrams began writing Star Wars Episode 9 and it became Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker... Sorry, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Featuring the return of Darth Sidious, aka Palpatine, and an Occam's razor approach, was applied to the backstory of Rey. So literally, we've just retrofitted it in there. But apparently the Skywalkers knew. So with those two story beats in place, Rey being a nobody and apparently not being a nobody, and now she is somebody, blah, blah, blah. Abrams decided that when Leia meets Rey, she knows Rey is a descendant of Palpatine. The details are apparently a bit fuzzy, according to their source, but MakingStarWars.net is told that in the Rise of Skywalker, we will learn that General Leia Organa realized who Rey was, and that is why she sends Rey to Luke immediately. Leia sends Rey Palpatine, that's just so bad, to Luke because she hopes that Luke will see the blank slate that Rey is and wish to cultivate it towards the good side. Leia sees it as something that can save Luke Skywalker and bring the Jedi back. Luke failed with Kylo, but this is his chance to come back from his failure and save Rey in the process. Well, he didn't really do that, did he? Luke sees the darkness in Rey, apparently, and that's why he states that she was attracted to it during their early lessons. And in that moment, he senses Palpatine, and he knows exactly who Rey is and what she can become. So that's kind of why it all happened. This is terrible. It's really, really bad writing. So we're literally retroactively going, yeah, no, they knew about it. Didn't say anything in the movie, though. No hint at that in the movie. No, don't worry. That plot thread that was implemented by someone else, we're just going to change it for this. But I guess that's kind of what they've been doing all along anyway, because the original plot threads which JJ set up in the first one weren't, continued in the second one. Thanks, Rihanna Johnson. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comment section. Like I said, please do check out that video that I did leave linked at the beginning. I think you guys will like it. Anyway, drop your thoughts down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe and get up to date on the world of pop culture and movie news by hitting the bell notification icon. As always, if you want to support the channel further, please do consider becoming a Patreon. I have that link down below in the description box, along with my merch underneath every single video. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I've been Mr. H. Take care.